Salute and welcome to the Stories and Cocktails podcast, where you will enjoy an entertaining short story from acclaimed humor columnist Rob Kreider. Story time is the family portion of the show. Then we move on from the stories to the cocktails. This is where the alcohol and the not safe for work portion of the show takes over, as Rob and his wife /editor /muse Sara Kreider are taking some adult beverages and provide you with a behind the scenes recap of what really inspired the original story. Put your feet up, relax, and enjoy yourself a round of stories and cocktails. Cheers.
This story is called Kreider vs. Cuervo by Rob Kreider. Hey, that's me. I had a bad week at work. Work sucks. Work is a four-letter word for a reason. I like my job, but that doesn't mean I want to wake up to an alarm clock 5 days a week just to go do it. Even if my job was rubbing suntan lotion on Charlize Theron's back, I would eventually tire of her skinny little back, and I would end up hitting the snooze button enough times to warrant calling in sick to work. Because everybody knows, when you're running behind, it's easier to call in sick than to show up late. My good friend from work recognized the fact that I was having a bad week. So, as good friends do, he came over to my house to cheer me up. He came armed with 2 shot glasses and a bottle of tequila. We sat down, talked about life, cars, why the toilet water spins in a certain direction, and pondered if Charlize Theron has a hairy back. Eventually, we got down to talking about why work was sucking. That was when my good friend opened up the bottle of tequila and threw the bottle cap into the garbage. I said, "Hey, what are you doing? Aren't you going to want that cap?" He told me, "Buddy, we won't be needing it." I have never considered myself a heavy drinker. I'll have the occasional beer, but I don't tangle with the dark powers of hard liquor. I am what they call a lightweight. I have a bit of a weak stomach. A 4-month-old nursing baby probably has a tougher stomach than I do. There is a saying, liquor before beer, never fear. Beer before liquor, never sicker. For me, it's Kreider and liquor, call an ambulance. Because of my disposition, tequila is something I have stayed far away from. Tequila is a Spanish word for vomit, and I was never very good at anything Spanish. The bottle of tequila was staring at me. It scared me, but what was I going to do? Be rude and say, "No thanks, I'm a little wussy man who can't drink tequila." Plus, my friend was kind enough to think about me and take the time to buy the tequila and come over to my house. I had to drink it. It would have been wrong not to. He poured us our first round. He taught me the word salud, which is Spanish for "it was nice knowing you," and we slammed down our first shot. As the fluid went down my throat, I glanced back at the bottle to make sure my friend had not mistaken it for my lawnmower gasoline can. The fluid burned like jet fuel. I shook. My lips curled. I screamed like a little girl. That Jose Cuervo must have been one mean son of a bitch to have a drink like that named after him. I just wanted to get the stuff out of my mouth and down my throat as fast as possible. It was agony. But since my friend did take the time to bring that bottle over, I braved another shot. I was actually killing myself trying to get each shot of hot lava down my throat, while my friend was sitting across from me, sipping the tequila, savoring the taste, swishing the fluid around in his mouth, and enjoying it. It was like watching someone walk in bare feet across hot coals. How could he possibly do it? It was like fire. I had said before that I was a lightweight, but with Jose Cuervo in the ring, I was like a featherweight, and Jose Cuervo was Mike Tyson. Shot after shot, he was kicking my ass. But what could I do? My friend was kind enough to buy this bottle for me. I looked over and noticed that the yellow-colored bottle of tequila was now a clear bottle, and that meant only one thing. Half of that poison was in my body, and I was going to die. I was so scared of the tequila and what it was going to do to me that I hadn't thought about work in the last couple of hours. I guess my friend's mission was accomplished. My friend was like my alcoholic fairy godmother. He flew in from out of nowhere and made my dreams come true. I wasn't happy with work. He recognized it, and in the end, I was so wrecked from tequila, I wasn't even able to get myself to the toilet, let alone get myself into work. That's what friends are for. Later came the ill effects of tequila. The nausea, the spinning, the screaming. I started to wonder, this friend of mine, who came over with a bottle of tequila, maybe he wasn't a friend at all. Maybe he was the Grim Reaper, delivering death in a yellow bottle. I started to think about the advice my mom had given me when I was a kid and did something stupid with one of my friends. She would say, "If your friend jumped off of a bridge, would you jump too?" This never helped me much because none of my friends ever jumped off of a bridge. Now, had she said, "If your friend drank half a bottle of tequila, would you drink the other half?" No, of course you wouldn't. Now that would have been some good advice. Had she used that example, maybe she would have saved me from licking the side of a dirty toilet. I started to wonder if maybe my friend was a missionary from church trying to get me closer to God. I thought the toilet bowl was a direct line to the Lord. I swore to him I would never drink Jose Cuervo again. I got to the point where I swore I would never drink any liquid of any kind again. I would get water from transfusions. My wife, whom I love, had absolutely no sympathy in the world for me. I lay in bed dying. She didn't care. I pleaded to her. Remember our vows in sickness and in health? Well, I'm sick. She said, no, you're drunk. I told her, no, I'm sick. Just ask my boss. He'll tell you. I already called in sick. You can't call in drunk. By the way, friends don't let friends drink tequila.
Okay, folks, it's time to pop that top and let's get to those cocktails.
Hey, welcome to Stories and Cocktails, the drunken portion of the motherfucking show. We are coming to you from Camp Margaritaville here in Pigeon Forge, East Tennessee.
Yes, we are. We are up in the Smoky Mountains.
The Smoky Mountains.
The old Smokies, I think is what they call them.
And what are you drinking this morning? Because it's not even noon yet. We're doing our part to put this show on every week. And we are getting lit in our RV in Camp Margaritaville before noon. And this is before noon, like Eastern time. So this is like fucking 9 o'clock in the morning, California time.
No, we've been on Eastern time for a long time now. This is our time.
Yeah, but our souls are from California. And so our souls are like, it's 8:45 in the morning, sir. Why are you drinking?
So, two things. One, this bartender in this RV, she's rough.
She got great legs.
God dang.
Stiff fucking pour. Stiff pour.
No, I just took a sip of my Mimosa and oh boy. So that's number one. Number two, you're talking about time. What I loved yesterday about staying at Camp Margaritaville is, I don't know if you noticed, but we walked into the lodge and we started heading towards the bar, and like someone like just some random like person that just worked in the lodge, wasn't even the bartender. It's 5 o'clock here. And then we walked into the bar and he's like, it's always 5 o'clock. And then we went to the other bar and same thing. That must just be their whole
That's their shtick.
mantra.
Yeah. No matter what time it is, say it's 5 o'clock, everyone gets drunk.
Yeah.
But that's kind of lost on us. I'm like, is it 8:45, 8 p.m., a.m.? Because I'm drinking it then. You know what I mean? Like, when you're like, it's 5 o'clock, I'm like, motherfucker, I ain't got a job.
Well, the funny thing was, then we went in the pool and then we come back to the bar and we got the same greeting. Like, it's 5 o'clock now. And I was like, actually, it's 5:30 now. So I don't know if you should still keep doing that shtick. And and he's just like, it's always 5. And I'm like, yeah, I get it.
You know what's going to do tonight when they try to close that bar on me? I'll be like,
5 o'clock.
It says it closes at 11. It's 5 o'clock. Well, you guys have been telling me it's 5 o'clock for 6 hours. So I'm not going to let you close this bar because this bar is fucking 5 o'clock.
I love that you think that we'll still be there when the bar closes. I was goodbye last night at like 7:45. I was so fucking done.
I was sitting there with my newest friends because I'm the extrovert here. I was part of the Blender Club. So if you're at Camp Margaritaville, you can get a margarita in a fucking blender.
You actually met a version of yourself. I don't know if you knew it, but we go to the bar and there's already a couple there and they'd already been drinking for a while and they had the blenders. So you saw their blenders right away and you were like, give me that. Give me that. And the bartender's like, what do you have? And you're like, I'll have whatever comes in that blender. And he's kind of like, oh, okay.
A margarita, sir?
Yeah, he's like, we like to put like the frozen drinks, like the low alcohol content drinks in the giant blender. He's like, but technically you can get whatever you want. And you're like, I'll have the Long Island iced tea. But
yeah, for sure.
It wasn't called that. It was called like the Long Island Beach or the Long Beach tea or something. I don't know. It had a nice like Margaritaville name.
It had all the alcohol in the world in it.
It had all the alcohol. And so he looked at you and he was kind of like, are you sure? And I looked at you and I was like, are you sure? And you're like, I fucking said it, didn't I? Give it to me.
It's 5 o'clock, isn't it? Put that shit in my fucking cup, asshole.
Yeah. So you're kind of minding your own business. You're getting your drink in the blender. And this couple sees you.
Oh, by the way, drunk after the first sip.
And they, exactly. But they see that you're getting the blender and you're still kind of warming up to the crowd. You're still a little like mindful of me. Like
I'm paying attention to you.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know if Sarah wants to engage with strangers.
I'm like, who am I going to out-outfit this bar here?
But what I cracked up at is this guy, like I said, he was like a future version of you. He was already like drunk like you normally are.
Well, he's not like me.
So
he had a full beard. I can't grow a fucking beard.
But he looks over at you right away and he's kind of slurring his words and he's just like, Blender Club. And he starts like fist bumping and stuff. And he's like, hey, we'll catch you in the pool, Blender Club. But it's slurred, so we can't really understand what he's saying. And you're like, God, this guy is fucked up. And I'm like, this is you. This is exactly 17 minutes from now. This is going to be you. And sure enough, you go straight to the pool. Now you've had 17 minutes of your Long Beach tea or whatever it is. And then you're just like, oh, I think Blender Club is coming. I got to save some spots. I got to save some inner tubes. And
Like, dude, we're having a meeting right now. Blender Clubs meets at 5 o'clock.
and they come in and you were like, I saved you some inner tubes.
I'm like, you want this
Blender
tube? This is a better tube than
yeah.
this tube. Blender Club,
Blender
inside
Club,
information.
Exactly. And I was just like, oh my God, now there's two
Here
of
we
you.
fucking
Yeah, here we
go. So yeah, I really couldn't understand what he said the first time. And then it was like, oh, there's a club. I cannot wait to be a part of it. And I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to promote myself up to probably at least VP early in the day. But by the end of the day, I'm definitely be president of the Blender Club. Yeah. And I told him, like, look, bro, I know you came up with this and shit, but I'm making patches and t-shirts. Like, fucking, I'm getting like a sticker for the side of these mugs. Like, we're definitely going to be part of this. I'm going to own this shit.
And that's why I just finally Irish goodbye'd.
Yeah, you weren't part of the Blender Club.
No, I wasn't.
So you left.
I didn't get a blender, and we had done pool time, and because we were in the lazy river, we kept bumping inner tubes with them, and you guys would have got Blender Club, and you guys would all hold up your blenders, and you guys were all slurring to each other.
Did you feel left out?
No, I just felt like I was just surrounded by a bunch of drunks, and I was drunk too.
Well, it's the Margaritaville lazy river. Like, what you're supposed to see there?
But then the stress of keeping up conversation with people that you don't know, total strangers, and the only thing that you have in common is that you're camping in the same spot and you're holding a blender, a plastic fucking blender. Yeah, it's not even a real blender. It doesn't actually blend drinks or make a smoothie.
Well, I'm holding it right now, and it's got a margarita in it. Feels pretty legit.
True. So by about 7:45, we were out of the pool. I was like, I gotta eat. Maybe food will sober me up. It didn't. Blender Club was still happening. We're eating, they're eating. You guys are all still slurring with each other. I was just like, I'm out. I can't keep up with this conversation anymore. It's not even a conversation. It's just a lot of fist bumping.
Yeah, you just disappeared, and then you gave me a text said, marked safe at the RV. Yes. I was like, okay, you're set. So then I was like, great, I'm going to continue with Blender Club, because I think we're going to have an election, and I might be president before the end of the day here. So I was like, I'm not going back to the RV with you. You're on your own.
I really thought that you would just settle in and finally get to be the extrovert that you are. And I could feel it had been kind of building up. I mean, you and I have spent quite a few weeks together, and you hadn't gotten out and made new friends in a while. It had been a while since you made new friends. You hadn't brought any strangers in the RV.
Now I'm actually part of a new club.
You hadn't chased anyone down to like local dive bars to do the Pensacola trifecta. Like, it had been a while. It was building up. So I just bounced. I was like, just do your thing. Be the president of Blender Club. Recruit new members. It's only 7:45.
It was 5 o'clock.
And it's 5 o'clock. Exactly. I came back to the RV. I was like, marked safe. Okay, I'm going to have some quiet time. Some quiet alone time. I got under the covers. I got my book out. And then all of a sudden, I just hear stumble, like just this racket, just the door coming open. You stumbling
just a drunk
in.
Asshole blasting through the RV door.
You're like, the president of Blender Club is reporting in for duty.
Inspection time.
Yeah, you're like, how you doing? I'm like, oh, man.
Well, what happened was you left, and I was worried about you because you were fucked up. And I know it was a pretty short walk from the bar to the RV. So I was like, I think you'll make it. You're not going to get hit by a wild coyote or some shit.
I told you I was marked safe.
I know, but I care about you. So then you left, and then like there was that moment where after a while I realized like, oh, besides just being drunk in Margaritaville and having these same plastic blender cups and just hitting each other once in a while.
Cheersing.
Once we actually have a conversation, we actually don't have much in common with each other. And I was like, this is not really coming together here. And it was like, maybe I'm making wrong choices. Am I in the Hells Angels? Holy shit. I don't want to be in this club. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm in the wrong club.
No, oh my goodness. That was a leap. That was I was not getting that vibe from them.
No, there was no vibe. Like, they weren't like, let's topple a government. It was just more like, they were into one-wheel electric things where you stand on this wheel and you zip around.
Oh, it's like Segways?
It's like a Segway, but a little bit different. And he's like, hey, man, he's like, is your podcast have a video component? I'm like, no, it's a podcast. It's with the audio.
Listening.
Yeah. And he's like, because if you want, I'll get my one wheel and I'll do a jump for you right now.
Oh.
He's like, you should ride my one wheel. And I'm like, dude, I've had like 6 of these fucking blenders of margaritas. Like, I'm not going to ride any fucking one wheel thing. Like, I am in the hospital a lot for this kind of shit. And like, it seems like a terrible idea. And he's like, I motion, we get the one wheel out, we jump it. I'm just like, I motion, I get the fuck out of here. So that's why I came home, because things got real. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and the crazy part is that I just now I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of interesting. It's a good thing I bounced because I would have been like, I second that motion, and then you would have been, I don't know if she's even a member. Like, can she second?
Yeah,
this
I'm
motion?
not sure. I mean, do you let spouses vote? Like, what are you doing here?
And I'd be like, I don't know. There's a quorum. Let's vote on it.
Well, in my defense, I was thinking ahead here, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so listen, I don't want to ride this thing. I'm too wasted, but I would like to see you jump it. And if you crash and you bleed, that will be kind of funny, but I know myself. So I'm like, okay, so you jumped at 6 feet. I've never ridden it before in my life. I know I can jump at 6.5 feet. Just give me one chance.
Yeah. Now that I hear it,
Then
it's
I
a
end up
terrible
with
idea.
my teeth in my throat and an eye shut, and I come back here. I'm like, honey, I think I got to go to the hospital in Tennessee. And you're like, God damn it, you fucked up our vacation again. So I was thinking way ahead when I said, like, no, sir, I do not want to see you jump this one wheel.
No, and that would have been
I need to go back to the RV where it's safe. My wife has already marked safe there. I need to go and get safe there.
that would have been a terrible idea.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
really.
I appreciate you letting me be an extrovert, but I saw the alcohol and like the crazy ideas are coming
Yeah.
along. It's like, hold my fucking beer, here we go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are we going to jump the pool? Like, what are we going to do? Like,
Well, we are in Tennessee.
right. So I was like,
So,
yeah, I
This
just,
does seem like hold my beer.
for sure. And I was like, I think I should just get the fuck out of here. So I pulled off my patch and I said, I'm not part of this club anymore. Fuck the Blender Club. Your guys are fucking dangerous, man.
And you came back to the
I
RV.
came back.
Kicked out.
I think they're just like, look, if you want to be part of this Blender Club, either A, you keep drinking these margaritas, or you jump the one wheel. But either way, you got to do something to stay in the club. I was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't even go on a third roller coaster at Dollywood.
No, I couldn't. Yeah, that's true. It was also the same day. We were at Dollywood before that, and I had my my innards shook a bit.
Oh yeah, I talk shit. I didn't go on any roller. I went on 0 roller coasters at Dollywood. You at least did 2.
Well, you saw all the bathrooms. You went all the water rides. You saw every bathroom in Dollywood, just like you saw every bathroom in Disney World.
I have to stay hydrated.
Yes,
It was
you do.
very humid. I don't know why I have to keep explaining this
I'm
to
just
you.
saying, I stood outside of a lot of bathrooms while you peed, and then you stood outside of a lot of roller coasters when I went on roller coasters. Here's the thing. Dolly Parton is this wonderful, beautiful woman who sings these sweet songs, but she made a fucking roller coaster haven of the most insane fucking kick-your-ass roller coaster I've ever
yeah.
seen. I was like, well, it's probably for kids. I'll jump on this thing. Because this isn't Pigeon Forge where you can't really see where the coaster is. The coaster just goes into the trees. And you're like, seems pretty reasonable. I see kids coming off it. They look like they're smiling and shit. Let me get on this fucking coaster. And then you go through the trees. You're like, oh my fucking God. This is the most insane upside down fucking kicking your ass roller coaster I've ever been on. And I came off that thing literally walking sideways.
Oh, you were.
I was fucked up.
Well, and I knew you were fucked up. I said both of us are acting out of character. I was looking at the map and I was like, how the fuck do we get out of here? And I don't usually look at the map. You're the map guy.
Yeah, that's my
you,
job.
We go to a theme park and you grab a map right away and you're the map guy. I grabbed the map. I was so hot because it was so humid and muggy. We got to leave this fucking park right now. So I'm looking at the map and then completely out of character for you, you were like, I think I'll get a bottle of water. I was like, wait, you're going to fucking hydrate? I'm like, I got a bottle of water and I've already refilled it 7 fucking times. And you're like, no, I want my own water. I don't want your drinking fountain refill water. I want my own water. But the fact that you were buying a bottle of water and drinking a bottle of water.
Like $4 a bottle of water seems reasonable. Just give it to me and let me sit down right here
Oh,
and
yeah.
just drink it.
That
And
was-
you also never see me drink a whole bottle of water.
Well, and that
ever.
was the other thing too. You're like, I think I gotta sit down and drink this bottle of water. And I was like, oh shit, we're fucked. You are sick. You're super, super sick. I'm trying to get us out of there as quickly as I can. But now you start to like sort of come back to life with your water.
Barely.
Yeah, you're barely back to life with your water. And you say, oh, when I was in line for the Eagle Mountain ride.
Bald eagle, crazy eagle.
Yeah,
Scare,
exactly.
Knock your pants off eagle.
So when you said when I was in line for the knock your pants off Eagle ride, there was a guy right next to me and he became like my ride buddy.
He's my coaster buddy.
Yeah, and he told me that this wasn't the craziest ride in all of Dollywood, that there's another roller coaster more crazy than this. And then you said, I'm glad I didn't go on that one. The second scariest roller coaster in Dollywood has me on my fucking ass, has me needing a bottle of water, has me wanting to sit down. I'm glad I didn't go on the first craziest Dollywood ride. This guy told me about it. Okay, so I think nothing of it. Well, then we're sitting there and you're
Well, my buddy came
recovering.
by. He goes, you on this yet?
Yes, we're sitting there, and exactly, your coaster buddy comes by. He goes, "Have you gone on it yet?" And he points to it, and we just happen to be sitting right.
I didn't know that was the one. I was like, oh shit, is
front
this
of
it?
Oh yeah, and you're like, "Oh no," and you're like, "Just getting some water. I'm gonna head over, buddy." I'm like, "The fuck you are." And then when you told me the story about your coaster buddy, I'm thinking of someone who's like 50 years old, like you. This guy's 25 years old. He's in phenomenal fucking shape, and you just get up and you're just gonna like follow after him. Like, I gotta go on this next
Well,
ride.
I can't let him ride alone.
With my coaster buddy. I'm like, dude, that guy is half
He was a tall, buff stud.
Yes, he's twice as in shape as you and half your age. You are not following him over to that coaster.
But I thought, like, if I just hang out with this guy, I'll just look better looking. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, he can do it. I can do it. Sure, I'm 50 years old and he's 25, but I mean, he's super in shape. Maybe he's in shape from riding all these coasters.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's what you were thinking. So you're still kind of cross-eyed.
Yeah,
You're still walking crooked.
I couldn't even stand on one leg.
And I'm still looking at the map. I'm just like, I got to get us out of here before another fucking coaster buddy comes by and tells him he's got to go on the ride. And then you look at me and you're like, I'm going to go jump on Big Bear real quick. Like, the fuck you are. No, you're not. You're leaving with me right now. We're going back to the RV. We're going back to Camp Margaritaville where it's 5 o'clock always. We're going to get some fucking drinks.
Well, I did the rod one first, like the hot rod coaster, and that was a motherfucker. Beat the shit out of me. So my eggs were already kind of scrambled. You know what I mean? Then the Eagle one kind of did me in. And it's a bummer because, I used to love roller coasters as a kid, and these are great coasters. Dollywood was a fantastic theme park. It was so awesome.
Oh, and it was
having the greatest time.
Pretty. The Smoky Mountains in the backdrop and the forest, it was gorgeous.
I don't know what Dolly Parton's problem is, but she fucking hates me. She kicked my ass with those coasters. I just didn't think that was going to be a thing. Like, I didn't see her. She's like, Dolly Parton, the daredevil. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, how about a little train ride past the country fucking bear jamboree or some shit? That's what I thought Dolly was going to be. But no, it's just like adrenaline junkie psycho shit and an occasional like country cover band. You know what I mean? Playing songs, I don't know. I'm like, can you do Dirks Bentley, man? They're like, no, fuckhead. Get back on the coaster, dipshit.
Yeah, there was a show that I really want to see this. I really want to see this. And it was country music of the 80s and 90s. We finally got there to the show and it was like, wait, why did I want to see this? I don't know any of these songs. Yeah, I only know country
This isn't Morgan Wallen?
Of the 2019 and beyond. Like, that's it. You go deeper than 5 years back. I don't know this fucking songs.
So I don't think we're going to see Dolly Parton at Crash My Play next year. It's a different thing, different genre. If Luke Bryan made a roller coaster, I'm sure it'd be a lot nicer than Dolly Parton's evil kick-your-ass roller coaster. Are you getting money out of sweating me off the coaster and pulling all the adrenaline in my veins? Like, is it being pulled out of me? Like, is this some kind of, like, secret scary device? Like, it was rough, dude.
Maybe that's how she looks so good. Maybe there's, like, some kind of supernatural thing. Like, she's getting life juices, like, through the roller coasters.
That's how she stays so young.
And that's how she stays
so you go on the coaster and
fucking
sucks your life juice off and they inject it in her vein. She's like, another 10 years, man. I'll make a
goddess.
Platinum record.
And in history, goddesses have known to be, a little manipulative with their ways.
Well, I don't want to say
stay
anything bad
young
about her
and
because
relevant.
she is wonderful and the place was great. It was unexpected for me to find such a crazy ass coasters there.
Oh yeah. No, she is wonderful.
I thought Dollywood was fantastic, man. I thought the ride home was gnarly, and when we got off the ride, when I say the trolley shook the shit out of me, I had my inside shook a lot.
Oh yeah.
I just ran right to the RV toilet.
Oh, you did.
I'm like, I'm gonna smash this thing right now. I am so fucked up from Dollywood and the train ride, man. I hope I donated all the adrenaline they needed because I was rough.
I didn't go on roller coasters, but just from the tram ride, I was also fucked up. So you were fucking up the bathroom. I was like, I'll be at the pool. I'm getting a drink. I heard it's 5 o'clock down there.
Yep.
We're
all getting to be part of the blender club.
Yeah, no, I just went straight to the pool and was just like, fill me up with alcohol.
Let's drink some margaritas.
Let's drink
Speaking
some
of margaritas and the key component in said margarita, where Margaritaville it's appropriate,
Tequila.
The story is about tequila. This article was called Kreider versus Cuervo.
Tequila.
Published
Tequila.
February 9th, 2006 in the Santa Maria Sun. So the crazy part is that this was written a long time ago. I mean, 18 years ago.
Yeah. I don't even know who that narrator was. I was reading it and I was just like, dude, I vaguely remember I used to be married to a man who would carry around one empty beer bottle, like to every party.
Yes.
So back then, people would say, oh, Rob's such a drinker. He always has a beer bottle in his hand. And I would say, no, watch him really carefully. He comes to the party, he grabs one beer, he drinks it, and then he carries around the empty bottle all night long so that he looks like he's still partying, but he's not a drinker. He's the driver.
Yeah, I was driving your drunk ass around. That's why I didn't have a fucking other beer.
But you were also a lightweight. Like when you really decided to drink, it always ended
in vomit.
Drinking. Yeah.
Vomit and shitting. A lot of times I would actually shit in a toilet and vomit in a shower
at the same time.
I was just like out of both ends. I was rough.
That was pleasant as your spouse.
You're lucky to be my wife.
I'm like, exactly. But reading that story, it took me back to that time, and I remembered like that's what you used to be like. I don't know when you sort of leveled up.
Yeah, I put on my drinking man britches on.
Yeah, and now you can just drink everyone under the table. And you drink tequila.
No, I just sip tequila straight. Like, don't give a fuck.
Yeah, now you're a big tequila drinker and a tequila snob.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. The funny part about the story is it's not actually true. This is the one part of the story that's bullshit. My friend, this was Dan Haas, my friend at work, he did not bring over a bottle of Jose Cuervo.
Well, I was going to say, Dan wouldn't have been caught dead drinking
No
Jose.
fucking way. Back then, we were drinking a celebrity tequila. It was Sammy Hagar's Cabo Wabo. So Dan and I got into it, and I used to go to the Cabo Wabo bars anywhere they were. Vegas, Lake Tahoe, like so fun. So anyways, Dan brought over a bottle of Cabo Wabo.
Yeah.
And the funny part is now that I really do love tequila, and I am admittedly a bit of a tequila snob, for sure. Sorry about that, everybody. I wouldn't even fucking touch a bottle of fucking Cabo Wabo anymore. That shit was terrible.
You say you're a tequila snob, but when you're not looking, I get well tequila every single time. And we were just somewhere not too long ago. I ordered the well tequila. You didn't know I had ordered the well. You came to the bar and you're just like, this is so good. This is really good tequila. This is really good tequila. Then you kind of look at me and you're suspicious. You're like, wait a minute. This is the well tequila. I'm like, guilty as charged.
Dura.
No. We were somewhere and it was Jose Cuervo.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And they were like, oh, it's Cuervo Gold. And you were like,
At
wait.
least it's gold.
What? I'm drinking Jose Cuervo.
These lips.
So you say you're a snob, but you might be a snob for the first drink. The second drink, you're just any tequila will do.
Well, I was going to say, that's the thing. What you do is, it's actually a pretty baller move. You get your top shelf stuff when you can taste it, right? You're like, okay, give me this good shit, right? Like, Casa Dragones, Anejo, which is super good. And then your second, third ranch water, you don't fucking care. Just give me the whatever well. And I really can't taste the difference at that point because I'm pretty lit.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy tequila and margaritas. I mean, we're in Margaritaville. I mean, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But our big problem is we have a decision to make. So a lot of people have been very kind to us on this cross-country RV trip and giving us suggestions like, you got to go here, you got to go there. And really, no one's failed us yet.
No.
Like, we've gotten, Savannah was fantastic. And Hilton Head was great. These were things people told us. Everyone's told us, go to Gatlinburg and taste moonshine.
Yeah.
And they said the dudes come out in the overalls. It's like a whole shtick. And I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty cool. But, it's 8 a.m. and we're getting fucked up. Well, 12 now in East Coast.
You got to stop this West Coast. We're on the East Coast. We're on East Coast time. Enough already.
My body still feels like it's morning.
It does not, dude. If we were on West Coast time, then I went to bed at 4:45 last night.
You're a badass.
No, I was definitely up until 7:45.
Yeah, you went down early, man. I'm like, dude.
But I didn't go down at 4:45. I went down at 7:45 because you and I are on East Coast.
Just saying, you got to watch yourself. You'd be replaced. Like, I had to meet a man to be my coaster buddy. Now I'm having to meet strange men at the pool to be my friggin'
Blender Club.
It's like, dude, if you're going to go to bed at 7:45, I'm going to have to meet someone else to be part of the, I don't know, who's going to be my fuck buddy? You know what I'm saying? If you fall asleep at 7:45, I don't have to trade you in. Like, I'll swap you out for a coaster buddy and drinking, but like at some point, I got to have my fuck buddy. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you're going to hey, at 7:45, I'm asleep.
Wow.
That leaves me in a precarious situation walking around the campground at night.
How could I possibly fall asleep when you're so romantic?
There's a lot of 75-year-old women here that would like my attention in the campground at Margaritaville.
They want to be your fuck buddy?
No, I think they just want me to back in the RV so their really old husband doesn't do it in front of them again.
Every girl everywhere just hopes and dreams one day they can be somebody's fuck buddy.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't sound very good.
No, it doesn't.
All I was trying to do is just make you stay up and have sex with me. That's all it is. It's all about shame sex. You know what I mean? That's all it is. That's how you get through 27 years of marriage, just shaming your wife to have sex with you. I'm like, hey, you better fuck me. Otherwise, I'm going to replace you.
I don't know why you're talking about shame, because it always ends in one of us trying to push up a rope. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
last night.
There's a little bit of shame
in
there.
your defense, you did acquiesce, but you're like, buddy, how many blenders did you have?
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, well, according to the softness of my penis right now, I had 7.
Sure,
6 I can get a hard, 7 I'm pushing up a rope.
But you're just like, let's keep trying. I'm like, okay.
I'm no quitter.
Yeah, it's no skin off of my back. Like literally, there's nothing happening here.
I like your new method now too. It's like 10 years ago to be like, no, get the fuck away from me. Now you're like, yeah, go ahead, give it a shot, there, big guy. Go ahead, fucking rub that fucking noodle on me, see what happens. I'm like, fuck. So then you're like, it's on you, buddy. 10 years ago, you would always say, no. I'm like, it's on you. You won't have sex with me. You're like, no. Now you got smart. You're like, no, go ahead. Go ahead, drunk man. You couldn't even open the fucking door to get in the RV. You think you're going to be able to get a hard on, dickhead? And that's what you're doing to me now. You're like, yeah, give it a shot, buddy. Go hard, buddy. Go for it, man. I'm like, challenge accepted. I'm like, come on, little Rob. Let's go, bro. It's green light time. And my little Rob's like, dude, I'm fucking 6 tequilas ago. Like, I can't help you, man.
Yeah.
Can't help it, bro. Can't do it.
You're on to me.
Yeah, no. I acquiesced because this is dope. Like, you're really, you're playing 3D chess now with me, my dick. I'm just like, fuck. I lost this round. Thwart it again. Let's have sex. Like, yeah, let's have sex. I'm like, oh, shit. You called my bluff. I just wanted to make you feel bad to shame sex you later. And now you're like, no, fuck it. Let's do it. Come on, let's go.
Well, because
you want to have sex, motherfucker? Come on.
Because, it used to be like, hey, you've told me no 5 times.
Yeah.
Now
you're obligated.
Now, yeah. So now I just, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
let's do it, buddy.
Yeah, come on.
Go
Let's
ahead.
go.
Come on. Let's get it up. Get it up. And then, let me tell you, boys, when a woman looks at you and says, let's go. Let's go. Get a hard on. And you're like, oh, shit. And then you feel the pressure. And it's just a boner killer, dude. You're like, look, I'm already fucked up. And now you're like questioning my ability to get an erection. Your body's like, it is not going to happen.
Then you say to me, too, like, well, I mean, a little foreplay would be nice. And I'm like, well, you came at me like you were ready to go.
Yeah,
like,
you came through this door hot and heavy.
Exactly. Like,
a lot of bravado.
I was already in bed.
You came in like you're the president of the Blender Club. Like, you just jumped a fucking wheel 6.5 feet. Exactly. Now you want to fucking have sex.
I'm like, you want to knock one out real quick? I'm here for you.
Let's do it.
But you want to turn this into, a fucking 2-hour affair. Like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
So
no one's going to rub that thing until the morning, dude. That ain't working until tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? No one's got time for that. That is exactly where that saying comes from. No one's got time for that.
No one's got time
to rub somebody's fucking limp dick who's drunk on 7 blenders full of margarita. When everyone knows, even Jimmy Buffett, rest in peace, knows he ain't getting hard on.
No. Oh my God. Freaking content quality of the show. It's just. So what I like about this Margaritaville, because we went to the Margaritaville Hotel in Biloxi. Briefly. And I was actually super glad because I was going to book us to stay there. I mean, we love Jimmy Buffett. So I was going to book us to stay there, and I didn't. I ended up like going cheap. I was like, Margaritaville's too expensive, and I ended up putting us in an MGM because I get points, and I love to fucking.
We had a good time there,
and we had a great time. But we went to Margaritaville, and I hey, let's go to the Margaritaville Resort to see it. And I was really like setting myself up to feel like, oh shit, I fucked up. I should have booked us here. This is like so great, and it wasn't.
It was Chuck E. Cheese.
It was like Chuck E. Cheese met a Margaritaville.
Yeah.
It was Jimmy Jr. Like, just
it was Pina Coladaville, Chuck E. Cheese.
Kids running everywhere. Like, if you're a little kid, that's the greatest place ever.
It's just one big rad water park and video game parlor and one bar for one very miserable dad.
Yeah, the bar, it sucked. It looked like if they put Margaritaville in an airport, but they actually put Margaritaville in airports, and I've seen them, and they look really good. This looked worse than that. This was like if they put a Margaritaville in a McDonald's. Like, it was
just
terrible.
a Chuck E. Cheese with a bar. And the bartender was terrible there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was fucking horrible at her job. I'm like, lady, you work at Margaritaville. Like, there's a thing here. It's about drinking. The song's about drinking. This whole thing is about drinking. I know this one in particular is a Chuck E. Cheese water park, but why you don't know how to make a margarita is fucking bonkers right now. Who's hiring these motherfuckers in Biloxi?
I was just like, Jimmy's got to be rolling over in his grave right now. This is terrible. But I felt vindicated because I was like, good thing I didn't book us here. After that experience, I knew that we had this Camp Margaritaville coming up.
Uh-oh.
I was a little nervous.
What's it gonna be?
I was like, oh shit, this is going to suck. And we rolled in Monday night and the pool was filled with kids. And I thought,
it's Chuck E. Cheese again.
But I think Monday was like the end of the weekend. Like, the families were still here and they must have rolled out because yesterday it was perfect. It was what I imagined Camp Margaritaville to be. It was just adults everywhere drinking out of blenders.
What's cool about the Lazy River is you go by a bar and the bartender knows what you want. And as you come around on your tube, she's like, you want another Mick Ultra? And she brought you drinks.
Oh, yeah.
You never even had to get out of your fucking tube.
She took my empty can, brought me full one. And you're right. We never even had to get out of our tubes. It was
And
amazing.
I want to say I peed in that pool 17 times.
And one duck pooped in there.
Well, once the duck took a shit in it, I was like, well, I mean, the duck shit in it. I got to piss in it, right? I mean, you got to follow. This is nature. This is just one big toilet.
Besides the duck shit and the Rob piss, it was just really the greatest river. And you had the view of the Smoky Mountains and forest everywhere.
The sun was out. They had music perfectly, like the right volume
was
all the way around the pool.
Temperature, although it did get a little warm the longer we sat in it with you. But
because of my piss. My body temperature is 97.8.
Yeah,
so.
But it was perfect.
Well, I'm into it. This is a good vibe here. The clubhouse is cool. They have games, all kinds of shit. It's a blast. So big thumbs up from me on Camp Margaritaville. So you heard it here on Stories and Cocktails. We love Camp Margaritaville.
Margaritaville.
And why wouldn't we? I mean, the whole fucking thing is based on drinking. There's a song is about drinking, and we have a show about drinking. So if you're going to record an episode of Stories and Cocktails, it seems apropos to be at Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, Camp Margaritaville.
Yes, and just a stone's throw away from Dollywood.
But the question is, are we going to not enjoy Gatlinburg? Because we're just like 18 minutes away from Gatlinburg. With all this moonshine tasting. Everyone's telling us we got to check it out. So I just feel like, how can we come to this part of Tennessee and not drink moonshine?
Yeah, I know. It's just, there's so much between now. I mean, it's a 30-minute wait for one of the 3 Uber drivers to come pick us up.
Right.
An 18-minute drive.
Yep.
And then we got to come home. Same thing on the way back.
We won't even remember coming home.
Unless there's all that moonshine tasting we got to do. And I'm pretty fucking drunk already. I don't know.
Are you going to wuss out?
Let's take bets if we're going to go or not.
Odds are we taste moonshine or not. Does it touch our lips before the sun sets?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
It's a good question.
We'll see. Depends on if the sun comes out or not. Because I don't know. That lazy river is calling my name. And I don't need to take an Uber there.
You can't get in the pool when there's a lightning storm, dude.
Well, if the sun comes out.
It's not out, girl.
I gotta put my bathing suit on. I'll take a few minutes.
You got to take 7 pisses.
The weather changes here quite frequently, fast.
It does throw you off a bit, man.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's anybody's guess.
Anybody's guess.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to make a ploy to get us to Gatlinburg and drink some moonshine. So
Okay.
that's what I'm trying to make happen. So what do I got to do to skedaddle your little ass out this RV into an Uber to get moonshine?
Now, the trick that you normally play to get my ass to skedaddle is you just unplug us and turn the AC off.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me move faster than when the AC
Exactly.
goes
When
off.
it's time to check out, I'm like, honey, there's no power.
Oh, yeah,
Gotta go.
you say, oh, I'm not rushing you. I'm not rushing. I love it. You go, I'm not rushing you. I'm not rushing you. I'm just making sure that there's absolutely no water supply to the RV and no electricity. As soon as you turn off the AC, I'm like, I'm ready.
Wheels
Let's
up.
go. Let's get the
pull
fuck
up
out
the
of
anchor
here.
and get the fuck out of
You're
here.
like, you only have one pant leg in your shorts. Like, are you sure you're ready? Because I'm not rushing you. I'm just like, no, just fucking go. It's hot. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
That's your ploy that you usually use, and I'm fucking on to you. But with it raining outside, it might take a little
A
time
little more coaxing.
to heat me up to get me out of here.
Well, I have noticed that you have this humidity irritability index that I've been kind of mapping for you. And so I've noticed, like, when the humidity is a certain place, you're kind of like,
Irritable?
yeah, pretty irritable. And
Yeah.
so I've been building a chart, and I'm using that chart to navigate you. Right?
Well, that's how I was at Dollywood yesterday. That's why I
Oh,
was
for
finally
sure.
like, just give me the fucking map. I'm getting us the fuck out of here. It's so fucking hot. It was so fun, and we had such a nice time. But then it was like 2:00 hit, and the humidity went up to like 72% or something like that. And I was just like, I'm fucking done.
Well, I was confused. You're like, this place is so nice. Give me the map. I want to get the fuck out of here. I'm like, well, if you like it, what are we running out of here for? I was like, oh, I'm looking at my card here. Oh, okay, yeah. So the humidity here, and this is you can't, yeah, you're out of here. You fucking gotta go.
It's when my bra gets wet.
Your humid titties?
Yeah, when my bra is soaked through because I'm sweating so much that's when I'm just like, we got to get out of here. I cannot handle this.
Fuck Dolly Parton. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know how she survived humidity with tits like those.
Yeah, you're just like, you can't fucking ride another goddamn coaster. I'm like, you don't care about that. You just are hot.
Yeah, it was.
You fucking were, yeah.
What do you call it? The humidity irritability index?
Yes, the humidity irritability index.
High?
Yeah, when it gets hot and humid, you get very irritable. And generally, because we're just 2 people together, you only have one person to sort of like focus all that irritability on, and that's me. I'm just like your irritability sounding board. So it's like, it's my fault that it's hot. It's my fault there's no air moving. It's my fault that it's humid. It's my fault we're still there. It's my fault I rode a roller coaster. It's my fault. I'm just like, fuck it, let's get out of here. It's my fault there's no Ubers.
You got the last word because you put me on the back of that tram and you were just like, hey, you irritable? Sit over here and slide all over the seat.
Tram did have air conditioning, though.
Test your core and just try to stay upright. And I was like, oh, shit.
Shook the shit out of us.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of my core, because you've been kind of on me this trip where you've been like, hey, I do Pilates so that my back doesn't hurt.
I don't do Pilates.
Or I do yoga. I do yoga so my back doesn't hurt. You should stretch more. You should do some core strengthening exercises. And I'm just like, get the fuck out of here with this. Like, we've never done that. We've never told each other we should work out or eat better or be healthy. Like,
I'm just trying to work on your Kegel muscles. That's all I
we've
care about.
never body shamed each other. Let's not start now. I mean, even if it's like, I want you to live longer, it sounds a lot like body shaming. So let's not start now. But I think my phone is hearing you because my algorithm is feeding me. I got 3 right now that are kind of in the running.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to do wall Pilates.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of counting down. Like, I'm like, one of you I'm going to pay for.
Where's
And
your
it's,
phone?
It's a contest.
Kegel exercises. Kegel exercises.
Oh my
Kegel
goodness.
exercises.
Okay, so you're going to like this. So one of them, when I say there's 3 contenders right now, well, the good news is, do you want to hear the good news?
Yes.
All of them tell me I'm going to have a complete body transformation in just 30 days.
Oh yeah, it's only a $7 app, and in 30 days you will have a complete
Yeah.
body. Yeah.
I am
get the same one
30
for men.
days away.
I could do chair
from
yoga and
being-
I'll have 6-pack abs.
Yeah.
10 minutes a day.
Isn't it?
30 days.
Isn't it nice to know we're just 30 days away from having the hottest bodies of our lives?
I know. And
Like-
obviously we're just fucking lazy if we don't spend 30 days and 10 minutes a day on this shit.
Well, I
$7
figure
on
since
an
I'm
app.
only 30 days away, I might as well be 32, 35, 40 days away. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, it's
10
so
more
easy.
days.
Yeah, it's so fucking
It's
easy.
so easy.
Put
But
that off.
The 3 contenders, like I said, you're gonna like one of them if you're looking for Kegels.
I am.
Because it's like a dance one. Like you're just 30 days of dancing. Now, I've had this dance one come at me before and tell me I'm gonna have a J-Lo body. They've kind of upped the ante.
Ooh.
Now they show the dance moves and they put this grapefruit over the pelvis of one of the dancers. This like grapefruit.
Emoji?
It's not an emoji, this grapefruit like diagram or drawing. And they show the grapefruit being squeezed. So I don't know if the dancing is going to like make my pelvis so strong that I could squeeze a grapefruit, or if the grapefruit is supposed to like resemble my pelvis and it's going to tight. I'm not quite sure what the grapefruit means, but it means something about my pelvic muscles, and it's all dancing. So that's one of the top contenders.
Is this what you want for Mother's Day?
I don't know. I said there's 3 contenders. Then there's wall Pilates.
Yeah.
And I'm like really into the wall Pilates. Like that one's probably leading the chart.
You're already
right
saying when we get home, I need you to build a wall so I can do wall Pilates.
now.
Like, you want me to build a wall? Okay.
The thing about wall Pilates, though, this morning I was watching the wall Pilates ad, and what she does is she gets in push-up position and she has both of her feet on the wall.
Yeah.
Now, when I do push-ups, I need both knees on the ground, like girl push-ups.
Girl push-ups.
So wall Pilates has me going from 2 knees on the ground to 2 feet
On the
wall. I'm not sure I could do it. Then what she does is she takes 1 foot off the wall and starts doing these leg exercises while she's doing the push-ups.
Ah, yeah.
1 foot on the wall. So this one might be beyond my abilities, but it's still a top contender.
Okay, what's third?
Now, the third one is just this guy. He's like, I don't know, he's like 40 and he's just dressed real casual. He's got like sneakers on and some sweats on. And he's like, women, don't do wall Pilates. Don't buy into the hype. If you really want to get rid of your fupa, and I mean, I wasn't even really like the fupa isn't even one of my target areas. You know what I mean? But when he says it, I'm like, yeah, I guess.
Can I work on that?
He's just like, do these simple exercises. You can walk off your fupa. Basically, when you're like waiting for a red light, you just do this like foot tapping thing. So it's super casual, super easy. He looks like someone I could be friends with.
10 minutes a day.
And he's teaching me how to walk off my fupa.
You know, all I want to say is thank you, Mark Zuckerberg, for inventing Facebook and shoving all this shit into my wife's fucking phone at day. She's like, I don't know, this one makes my vagina tighter. This one makes, I'm like, yeah, do it.
I don't know if it's going to make my vagina tighter. I don't know if that's what the
I think that's what the
grapefruit
That's got to be what that
diagram is
assuming
showing.
that's what it is.
It's really bizarre. Next time it comes up, I got to show you this
Yeah,
grapefruit
I got to
thing.
see this thing.
Yeah, I think it's saying I can squeeze a grapefruit.
Nice. Like a
me.
ping pong ball out of your vagina.
Like grapefruit is fucking big though. It's the biggest of all of the citrus fruits. Like
Oh, geez.
that's a big ass. I don't really know what is happening there, but these are the top 3 contenders.
Okay.
But I think I'm gonna go with the fupa guy because that just seems like the most casual and the easiest.
Sure, I'm all for it. God bless you, Mark Zuckerberg. You genius. You mad genius.
So what's your 30-day?
So I'm
Challenge
getting
looks
a lot of chair yogas coming my way. It's just
Oh.
6-pack ab dudes. They're all like 50,
chair yoga?
crushing fucking bodies. They're just like, if you do chair yoga for 30 days, 10 minutes a day, you'll look like this fucking
Do
guy.
you know
I'm
my-
like, that guy's on testosterone and steroids.
Do you know my grandma used to go to the senior center and teach chair yoga
I could believe
in
it.
her 70s?
Well, I don't know why she didn't look like this guy.
Well,
this guy looked
I'm
pretty
just saying
fantastic.
that's who does chair yoga. Is
Your grandma had a banging butt.
my grandma taught chair yoga at the senior center. to
Yeah, she
seniors.
had a great body.
So I guess because you're over 50 now, you're getting the chair yoga ads.
I get that, and I also get the typical like, hey, you might want to buy these purple pills. I'm like, I don't need them. I just don't need to drink 6 friggin' things of tequila, and I'll be all right.
Yeah, last night you probably should have decided less tequila or more purple pills. I don't know.
I don't own any
Those-
purple pills, but I'm probably one more tequila from needing them, so I should have those as like a backup. And I'll thwart you. You're like, come on, Big Daddy. I'm like, what you don't know is I took a purple pill an hour ago.
Yeah, don't do that.
And now I'm going to come out with just one angry, drunk, pharmaceutically made hard-on. And that's the last thing you need smashed into you for a fucking hour.
I do not need that.
Yeah, that is not what you want.
We have reached a equilibrium where it's not equal. It's tipping definitely towards me. I'm winning this round.
Yes.
Do not change that.
You don't want to have a steroid pecker coming at you.
No, I do not.
No, you're not
Pharmaceutical hard-on. I do not want that. No.
A drunk, angry one.
No.
Trying to prove a point. No. I'll show you, goddammit. Like, please stop pounding
That
me.
does not sound enjoyable.
That is not what we're going.
Any of us.
That's when you're going to put me on my stroke count. You're like, you have 5 more strokes. You can't get it done. You're fucking done. Get out of here.
Yeah, but then even if I put you on the stroke count, this is a really small space. So even if I tell you get the fuck out, like you're still sharing a space with me. I still hear it. Then you start on your own stroke count.
They're fat.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, dude,
you're gonna pull that thing off.
Break it off. You are gonna break it off.
I'm gonna ruin our vacation with a trip to the hospital because you pulled your dick off. Doctor's like, what happened to him, ma'am? No, he took a fucking purple pill and he drank 7 margaritas and then he tried to pull his dick off.
1 margarita, 2 margaritas. Isn't that a song?
It is.
7 margaritas.
Shot.
ER.
No, it goes, 1 margarita, 2 margarita, 3 margarita, shot, and a purple pill, and
a
right
trip
to the
to
hospital.
the ER.
If you see those ads, it always says, like, if you have an erection that lasts for over 7 hours, I'm like, oh my God, you need to go to the doctor. I'm like, you fucking do. Probably because you pulled your dick skin off. That's why you gotta go to the doctor. It's looking terrible, man. Those pills scare the shit out of me. I'm like, I do not want to eat that shit. I cannot deal with that shit.
With that, let's say cheers.
Let's raise a glass and get some moonshine in us. Cheers to Smoky Mountain, Tennessee.
And that was Last Call. You did it. You survived an episode of Stories and Cocktails. But did Rob or Sarah's liver survive the show? I don't know. Tune into the next episode to find out, to enjoy some more stories and some more cocktails. By the way, if you want to support the debauchery of the show, then buy the host their next round by Venmoing a couple of gold doubloons at Stories and Cocktails. Back in the day, a gold doubloon was only 4 Spanish dollars. Who knew? Well, folks, I'll be right here behind the bar, cleaning the glassware and awaiting your return to the Stories and Cocktails podcast. Cheerio, friends.
If you enjoy hearing Rob Kreider's different humor columns here on the Stories and Cocktails podcast, then I promise you will love his novel, Cadet Blues. Cadet Blues is Rob's hilarious tell-all about desperately trying to survive the shock and awe boot camp-style training at the California Highway Patrol Academy. People from all different walks of life have come to love this book because Cadet Blues is simply a crazy good read. Heartfelt, inspiring, and damn funny. It's available in paperback through Amazon, eBay, or cadetblues.com, where you can get free shipping and a personalized autographed book. Or you can download a digital copy of Cadet Blues from Amazon Kindle, Barnes & Noble Nook, or Apple iBooks. Do yourself a favor and check out the novel, Cadet Blues.